am a warden.
Go! Get in there!
I had a job to do.
I need to get moving.
It is on your head, Dominic! Save your shoulders! Keep them up!
Purvis Daubney. Blackstone for a single season. Golden Cross. My second in...
The Blackstones were coming up the east wall.
Ashfeld. I was born... So much of warfare is about walls, gates, hills. Almost every fortress in these lands...
We're being...
The fall of the last sanctuary in Ashfeld. 1,000 years. The Iron Legion is made up of many smaller legions. The lion was the symbol of the Regal Legion. They were strong once. Now they have fallen to Blackstone. The Iron Legion has a habit of mounting warden statues in front of doors. But they are hypocrites. The oaths of a ward when we stop fighting against it. Nature.
Advance! Push them back!
Warriors rarely see the people their wars affect. The was younger. I never forgot the lesson.
All right, let's do this.
This year's Viking horde. When Mount Rust erupted, they lost the sun for months. Crops and animals died. They came south, raiding for supplies. They continue to raid Ashfeld yearly.
To battle!
The Iron Legion traces its roots to a much older culture. An ancient empire. Machines of war. Many of them use plans that we do not fully understand. Techniques handed down through the generations that we have lost the theory for. They work just fine, though. The Sanctuary of Harrogate. The last remnants of the Iron Legion had held it.
Him.
In the West, punishments like the cage have been outlawed. In Ashfeld, however, we were less reluctant about using brutality.
Vikings!
When lava cools, it can form a marvel. A black glass that can be sharper than the sharpest blade. High in the mountains, there is the geyser fields of Ashfeld. Iron Legionnaires are cattle. They fight when it's convenient for them, and run away from any challenge. When I took over the Blackstone Legion...
You could go back to Valkenheim, you know!
We 7 leaders of the Blackstone Legion took demon names. It is both as a war...
Die, Blackstone dogs!
I want to talk to some of these deserters.
Once, there were 15 of us in the Blackstone Circle. 8 times, one of us claimed the title of Warlord. 7 times, that Warlord proved too weak, too noble, or too blind to lead us. I am the 8th. The children of Ashfeld claim to all follow the same god. But I have sat in... So many of my people fear the decorations of our savage foes. But I have never feared the demons of my enemies. The Vikings are ancient as we are. The difference is, they vanished for centuries.
They know we're here! Keep moving!
Wherever we go, the peaceful life that is called... The Vikings have filled their mountains and valleys with horns and drums and signal fires. We were never going to slip into Valkenheim unnoticed. That is why I chose to enter through the front door.
It wasn't a good plan. It was just my only option.
The cataclysm was not one event. It was many. Our technology is what separates us from the Vikings. And with these, we would make... I am Apollyon. I was a warden once. Now, I have become something greater. The Vikings have raided every year for as long as I can remember. They sack, loot, burn. My village was destroyed by them. Mine, Valkenheim. Home of the invaders who call themselves Vikings. It had been 40 years ago that knights last crossed the threshold into that great battle. Whatever happened in there, we would certainly be remembered.
The Vikings had numbers. We had technology.
The ancient kings of the Vikings were mighty. They sailed across the ocean, and when the seas
Það stefnir allt í bardaga.
The Viking tribes all have different customs. These look to be war-born offerings, probably for strength in war. Holden should never have sent those scouts ahead. He should have sent me first. Apollyon asked me to clear the way, so of course I obeyed. They docked their boats there, so there was a path to the top. I was sure of it. Soldiers cry and cringe and rage when they see their friends hanged. Sometimes the volcano in Ashfield gave Valkenheim 2 years of... Stone would be dead if not for that warden. Almost there.
Wat neer!
Mannstöfðu, hvað eru þeir að gera hér?
Like us, most of the Vikings don't even... There had to be a better way inside than the front door. I had my pride to consider. I had an idea. Getting inside was easier than I expected. Their machinery was far beyond what I had expected. The machinery was well made, but I had a job to do. Too bad.
Being a skeptic was a death sentence. But doubt is a part of integrity.
The ancient name for these structures is trilithon. I asked a Viking once what she thought they were for. she didn't know. She said they've been there. The Vikings have always warred with themselves much more. Spurned God. We knew at Spurngard that within a day, we dragged our ram's machinery across Falcon. We could have broken open that gate with a far smaller ram, but that would have taken time. The fortress of Sverngard was home to many of the wealthiest Viking clans. I am Apollyon. I have come to instruct. For too long, the fearful prey among the Vikings have whispered their lies of peace. Now,
This is a market town. A trading post.
the legendary Jarl Gudmund. Whoever faced him would either become another notch in that belt of his, or become legend. We would leave survivors to tell the...
Nowhere else to go!